Hey guys, Manitove here again. What we're going to be doing today is another after action review of my guild battle with Grumpy, as you can read the rest of the name. So we'll go ahead and hop on in and take a look and see how it went. Alright, in this first round, I took in a Sierra, Fire Werewolf, and Rena against a Praha, Fengyang, and Wusa. Second round, I took in my Jean, Iris, and Water Marshal Cat to Lima, Perna, and Theo. The reason why I took in the Fire Werewolf was simple. It has a very unique passive in which it heals for double the amount that it's healed. It also self-heals every turn for 10%, which doubles into 20%. There's 2 water units on defense, so I figured the 2 water units could just play with the Fire Werewolf the entire time. The Fengyang would go after my Rena. The Rena is 100% resistance on Revenge, Broken. So the only time that they would switch target is if he was able to actually land a defense break on the Rena. And then I was just going to slow play it out with my Sierra, dropping bombs periodically to kill off a unit. This match actually ended up taking me a little bit longer than I would have liked it to. Because of the speed of the Wusa, it was able to turn cycle relatively efficiently, and it pretty much keeps the will up pretty consistently. But I mean, it's just a patience game at this point. The only thing I did notice is that that Fengyang is on Destroy, so I wanted to start spreading some of the damage around just to try to mitigate some of the damage that Fengyang was putting on, because Rena's shield is directly proportional to the amount of HP on the unit. So if this match would have drug out too much longer, the Rena would have become a very easy target. One thing else I also did notice is, as you saw, that Wusa managed to pop my shield because of defense break without a crit, so that became a little bit of a problem. But I ended up going ahead and clearing this match without even, I do lose my Rena at the end because 100% resistance means nothing. Yeah, it was a pretty fun match though. Pretty unique defense. As you can see, they do have their auras on these units, so they do take pride in them. No slouch on the defense. The Praha being lead actually probably played into my benefit because had they had the defense lead from Fengyang, they probably would have been able to put out a little bit more damage and drop my Rena faster. But they went with resistance lead, and I did some retooling of my Sierra. Because at 99% accuracy, I was still missing a lot of bombs, so I dropped a little accuracy on my Sierra to put more speed on it, so hopefully to turn cycle and kill faster. Now, as you saw, I was able to knock out the Wusa, so that pretty much put the match well into my favor, because my Sierra is going to be able to handle this Fengyang. It's not too much of an issue. And then it becomes a 3v1 situation, and this is where the resistance check failed me, and 2 dots equals a dead Rena. But after this first match, just wanting to highlight this Fire Werewolf being able to tank and sustain itself versus 2 non-damage based water units. It had a good showing. This second round, my Jean, Iris, and Water Cat. The only reason why I really brought in Jean Iris was because my Water Cat's a little squishy. So I figured the passive sustainability of the 2 units would help it survive longer. Brought in the Water Cat specifically to deal with Theo and Perna. The skill 2 of the Water Cat. It's a multi-hit attack bar reduction or absorption. So I figured it would be able to handle the Theo and keep it in check, which it did. And then once Theo drops, it's an easy kill of Perna. The nice thing about the Water Cat is that the rune requirements for it are not excessively high at all. You don't have to worry about crit rate at all because of its passive. If an enemy unit does not have a debuff on it, it's guaranteed a crit. So, and after multi uses in RTA and the like, just using this unit over and over, I've noticed that even with the limited crit that I did put on mine, it seems to be that the game mechanics favor critting even on units with low crit rate. So I wasn't worried about bringing in the taunt or the silence or the stun with my Iris and Jean. As you can see, I cleaned it up pretty well. This is the new build on my Sierra. Like I said, I dropped down the accuracy just a little bit, but put a little bit more speed on it. This is my Fire Werewolf. It's really nothing special, just a bunch of runes I had laying around, completely broken sets. Just the whole purpose was to stack as much HP as possible. This is my Rena, very low speed, 35k HP. Will, Revenge, and Destroy. Oh, that's right, I did do some rebuild on it. My Jean, 118, plus 118 speed. Vio Will, very standard build for this kind of unit. My Iris, plus 131 speed, 44 accuracy, good HP, on Despair Revenge. Alright, this next match here is a Sierra, Wusa, and Iris on defense, so I brought in my Joltan, Perna, and Vela Jewel. For the second round, Feng Yang, Praha, and Rakan, so I brought in Leo Double Valkyrie, because that's a thing. Let's go ahead and see how this played out. I brought in the Joltan specifically to handle the Iris and the Silence, figuring that it would target the Joltan multiple times. And then I brought in the 2 fire units to make the Sierra focus on the Joltan as well, figuring that it could absorb a few bombs. And you can see it worked out pretty well. The only annoyance was Wusa started immediately working on my Perna, but Perna's got 2 lives, so it wasn't much of a threat. My biggest concern about this was the Iris being on a very similar build to mine would be a Despair Revenge, which could have played a little bit of a headache by stripping the immunity on Revenges, but I lucked out. That didn't happen, so overall went pretty much as I planned. You guys have seen these units before. I've used them in multiple different videos. I do rely on my Joltan a lot when I see a light unit, especially on defense. And my Perna and Vela Jewel are, they're very versatile units, so I use them all over the place. For this one, I brought in the Double Valkyrie because I figured Rakan would go after my Leo, my Vanessa would bring my Leo back, I'd be able to kill the Feng Yang, and then my Camila would be able to solo what was left on the field. This match does end up dragging out a little bit, but that's just because my Camila has fallen off my favorability list. I don't pay too much attention to it anymore. I was really excited when I first got it, like most people, when we get the Camila, because it was so meta relevant, 5 years ago in Arena, and most people found it to be very aggravating. And even when Guild Wars was first introduced, this unit was capable of soloing your entire offense. But with the advent of most of the newer monsters, its viability has really fallen by the wayside. I'm actually thinking about switching mine up though, because right now mine is on a crit damage build, because I do on occasion bring it in on offense. But what I think I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch it over to just a pure tank Milla sort of deal, and see how that goes. Just use it sort of like how I use my Rena, and just absorb damage. With a higher HP, the recovery will be more, which means more sustainability, and I could just use it to abuse the AI mechanics. At this point, I mean, the match is well under my control. I need one more turn for my Vanessa to get the revive up, but the collapse proc will take out my Vanessa, and then he'll go after my Leo and kill that, and then it just becomes a Camila versus Rakan. I have element advantages at this point, and the passive heal, so even if he does crit on my Camila and is able to sustain himself somewhat via the vampire runes that he's clearly built on, because of Camila's passive, the damage will be halved. So he's not going to gain too much life, so it's just auto. I think I went and made a cup of coffee at this point and let this go ahead and finish out. Not saying Camila is a bad unit by any stretch of the imagination, just its viability is not as important. It's not as highly sought after anymore. So if you do get one, I mean, there's a couple different variations. Like I said, I have a crit damage build one with Destroy. But you could do a tank Mila, which is speed HP, decent defense subs, and you could just bring it into win defenses and let it sit there and play with Feng Yangs. Now let's go ahead and see the next match. Oh, we'll do the my Jolton, 47k HP, not fast. On Will, it was the biggest thing because I didn't want to get him defense broke. This is my Perna, haven't changed much on him. Still sitting there with the 65% crit damage rune because I can't get a better attack sub on anything else. The grind is real. Once again, my Velajewel, rocking the 0% accuracy because, you know, that's important to Velajewel. My Leo, he is on HP, crit damage HP on Nemesis Vampire. Vanessa, not overly special. I don't really use Vanessa other than, like I said before, in niche builds for Guild Wars and Siege. I will be experimenting more in the future, and my Camila, Violent Destroy, with more of an RTA build for it. Because of its viability with the Beast Riders. Vanessa and the Beast Riders is looking like it's going to be a fun thing, so hopefully I can have some videos of that coming in the near future. Final round, Feng Yang, Light Ifrit, and Windheart Magician. So I brought in Jolton, Perna, and Sekhmet. And the standard Kamoon, Chasun, Theo comp at the bottom, so I just cheese it out. Brought in the Sekhmet to handle the Triana. Goes off without a hitch. Brought Jolton to play with the Light Ifrit, figuring he would go for him first. Was not expecting the Light Ifrit to be slower than my Jolton, but it all worked out. So just nuke down the Light Ifrit first to eliminate one form of the defense break. Feng Yang will go after my Jolton because I brought dual fire, and that was for the purpose of once again abusing the AI and making sure the damage went where I wanted it to. The nice thing about Sekhmet is I can steal the counter buff and I can drop defense break and throw glancing on there. As you can see, the reason why most people don't like Sekhmet happened right there. Failed to strip and reset. Next round, not my best showing because of, you'll see in the rune review, only rocking 5 runes on the Chiwu there. After the FRR came out for the 5 days of the RTA rune management, I went around and played around with a lot of different builds, trying to see what I could come up with, and as noted in previous videos, Derpwoo is not one of my favorite units, but he did get a buff, so I was trying to swap things out to see if I wanted to put him on a fast despair or keep him on swift because of his new guaranteed attack bar reduction. And somewhere in all that mess, I pulled 2 beast riders, the fire and the wind, stole the swift runes, didn't realize I didn't reallocate anything back to Chiwoo, so I'm doing this at plus 100 speed, I think, and no slot 4. So once again, the Jolteon, just for review, he's a very fun unit. If you have access to him, 2A him, he's very viable and usable. I even use him in the lab just so I can auto. The Perna, once again, not the love that he deserves, but it is getting there. My Sekhmet is on a violent build, plus 115 speed, 92 accuracy. It's on speed, crit damage, I believe, and accuracy. There's my plus 100 Chiwoo, missing a slot 4. Big brain right here. Paying attention. My Bastet, plus 176 speed. Swift broken. There was a lot of playing around with runes, trying to improve upon this with the FRR and Theo. I haven't touched in years. Violent Will, I really don't use them other than for that one specific cleave comp. And that will conclude our FRR. If you saw anything you liked, please leave it in the comments below. If you have any questions, once again, leave it in the comments below. Please like and subscribe to my channel, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next video. You guys have a great day.